Hey, yeah, it's a little damp in the office today. Did you not fix the roof? Yeah. Hey, welcome to Season 6, Episode 11 of Niagara 411 Live with Sterry. We're going to get out of the rain real fast, and we'll give credit where credit is due. We are fueled by Gale's Gas Bars. We are supported, of course, by Sandra's Home Healthcare and Virgin Insurance and Mac Outpost, Ace Alignment, powered by WeeStream. And this is the, as we're backing through the main seating area of Fiddler's Poorhouse at 149 St. Paul Street in St. Catharines on a very soggy May 21st, year of our Lord 2025, as we used to say. We have a pretty interesting show coming up for you today. We're going to talk with our, probably my favorite, I don't know that I've ever had a favorite UFC fighter, but I do now. Jasmine Jasudavicius. I know you're going to say, Jazz is on again? Yes, Jazz the Vicious is on again. She probably won the biggest fight so far of her career in Montreal at UFC 315. What an incredible performance. Actually, it was quite a performance for the Niagara UFC Fighting Club, so we're going to be talking about that. And, you know, it was 3 years ago that we lost Nicholas Adamson outside the Moose and Goose in Thorold. His remains were identified back in late December, I think it was, and it's just been over the last few weeks that actually been public knowledge that Nick has been found. His mom, Jennifer, is going to be joining us on the program about 1 o'clock today, and there's a lot of other things as well, but that's kind of the biggest story of the day. So we'll be back in about 30 seconds to fill you in. All right, thanks. Are we juxtaposed all right there, KJ?
I think you got to move a little bit, Lee. You shifted yourself.
Where do you want me?
Look at yourself right in the middle there, Lee.
I got a wobbly chair today.
Not always the case, right?
I think I went the wrong way. How about that? Nope, that's the wrong way. You can tell this is live TV, right?
Yeah, there you go. I got to start taping an X on the ground?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, it hasn't been one of my better days. Anyway, welcome, as I mentioned, to Season 6, Episode 11 of Niagara 411 Live with Sterry. I want to do something, first of all, right off the top. Now, one of our guests today, this is a little bit of a different wrinkle on the show today. One of our guests today is a fellow that is no stranger to you, David Green. He is a local comic and one of the hardest working organizers of comedy festivals and comedy events in Niagara, if not the hardest working one. And the Garden City Comedy Festival is coming up, and actually the first event is tonight. Opening night is tonight. Now, there's a big gala coming up on the 24th, which is this Saturday. And we're going to give you a chance to win a couple of tickets to that gala. But first you have to do something for us, okay? Now, if you go, well, you're already there. If you're watching this show, you're already on the Facebook page for Niagara 411. I'm just going to follow along with you and do my thing there. I just went to Niagara 411. I'm going to hit that little squirrely arrow, you know, at the top that does a refresh. Okay? I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. Kevin, what is going on with my internet here?
Well, there is a bell outage. And
there is a bell outage. There we go. Okay, so we've refreshed. Now, you will see us, as you see on the screen right now, on your own screen, as streaming the show. So then what we want you to do is you go to the bottom right where it says share, and you click on that. And then another screen will come up like that, and you'll see share now. So you just click. You don't have to make a comment or anything. Just hit share now. And if you do that, you will be automatically entered into our draw at the end of the old programming for a couple of tickets to go to the Niagara or the Garden City Comedy Festival finale on Saturday. All right? So we actually have an incentive for you to do the refresh and share thingy. So there you go. If you do that, you have a chance to win some tickets. And Kevin, how are we going to announce that?
I'll be getting in contact with them via their Facebook account on Friday.
All right.
So, if you're not watching this right now live, Wednesday from noon until 1:30, but you're watching Wednesday, Thursday, whatever, all you got to do is continue to share that. And this gala performance, this is going to be bloomin' funny. It is Saturday night at the Performing Arts Center. And Elvira Kurt, well-seasoned. You've seen her on TV in Canada for, a couple of decades now. If you're familiar and you follow along with Canadian comedy, you know who Elvira Kurt is. And she's going to be performing just down the road as part of the gala night. It's phenomenal. David Green's going to be joining us at around 12:45, but that's all you got to do. Just share this post, and then I'll take a look at all the people that shared, and I'll be getting in contact with somebody, and the tickets will be at will call for you. So I don't have to meet you or anything like that. No awkward handshake. Just go down to will call Saturday night.
No, you don't have to meet Kevin. That's scary.
Exactly. But very happy for David to offer this up, and this is a new thing for us. We never had contesting before on the program.
Well, we talked about doing it, but it never really came together so that it made sense. But this kind of does make sense. So we know, because of all the so-called social media algorithms and all the tracking and all the rest of it, if you've done the share thing, and out of all the people that do the share thing, you can win a couple of tickets, as Kevin mentioned. So that's good. Kevin, Jack, how are we this week? How's the WeeStreem bunch doing?
WeeStream is quite well, Lee. We were very busy last week with a lot of corporate stuff that I don't want to bore you with, but we were at an artificial intelligence conference down at the the Americana Conference and Resort last Thursday. We were helping out with a religious group in their annual general meeting at Mount Carmel. We streamed a funeral last week and just prepping for another conference next week. And then had city council last night. We're all over the place, Lee. If you need to know something happening in Niagara, sit down and have a beer with me.
It's kind of interesting, this whole artificial intelligence thing. They used to call military intelligence an oxymoron, like jumbo shrimp, and those kinds of things. Well, I'm thinking that depending on who you're talking to, when they think they're smart and you know that they're not, that's kind of another type of artificial intelligence, don't you think? I run into a lot of those people every week. People that are talking to me and, oh, right, okay, yeah, your opinion, wow, yes, you are dealing with artificial intelligence, and it's all your own. Your intelligence is entirely artificial. That, ladies and germs, is our luxurious set here at Fiddler's Poorhouse, 149 St. Paul Street in St. Catharines. Happy to have you here. Come on in for a burger and a beer or a beverage of your choice, etc. They have all kinds of specialities that we didn't really get a chance to photograph this week because of our liquid sunshine that we have going on in St. Catharines at the moment. So, speaking of not having a chance, have you ever had a chance to drive lately up and down the Queen Elizabeth Highway and actually not have to stop for something because of 7th Street? What the hell are they doing? What is that construction project, Kevin, that's happening at 7th Street? They already put 2 roundabouts on that thing years ago. Now they've got a big cluster, there again. And what that's doing is it's leading to lines and lines of traffic going up and down Ontario Street and Lake Street and Lakeport and through Port Dalhousie. It's an absolute glut of cars, and I don't even know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's a mess. Let me see if I can get traffic on. Here you go, traffic. We'll see the nice red line there.
Yeah. Why? What the hell are they doing?
I think they're repaving, but I don't see a lot of paving going on. Are they widening?
Man.
I don't know what they're doing.
Let's repave in the winter when we have, can't we have the winter and construction season at the same time? My God.
Look at that. That yellow line, red. They're backed up all the way here to Jordan.
Every single flippin' day. you can't go up and down the highway.
And there you go. It's yellow all the way back to Victoria.
And I guess I'm in ranting mood because between north end of St. Catharines, which I call home, to downtown St. Catharines, which I call here, I saw no fewer than 3, count them 3, vehicles being operated by artificial intelligence, apparently, run stop signs or red lights. And it's not the fact that they go flying through, which really, and it happens sometimes, which really causes carnage. It's the fact that people that are pulling up to red lights or stop signs, they look both ways, but they don't stop. They actually, even if there's somebody coming the other way. Like, what is it, people, about stop that you don't get? See, that's kind of the mood that I came into, and I apologize for that. It's kind of the mood that it hasn't been a great week for me. There have been things getting under my skin, as old and thin and craggly as it is, that just have been driving me nuts this week. So I'll try to put on a happy face, as they say. They're just some, and the guy that we interviewed, Shammy Hack, a couple weeks ago. Now here's a guy minding his own business with his family in a car late at night on the 406 highway, and a rock smashes his windshield, and he has to pull off and regroup. It's a shock to whoever's in the car and the family. Of course it is. There's our conversation on the screen right now with Shammy. I can't believe the comments, Kevin, that people were making. Oh, he's lying. Why the hell would he lie? Why is he lying? And what possible benefit to him would there be to lie about somebody dropping a rock off an overpass onto his windshield? And, well, why would they write off the car? Well, it doesn't take much to write off a car these days, folks. And it was a new car. All it takes is for that rock to damage the little computer unit that's underneath the hood. Boom, car's done. It's over and out. 10-4. But these are the things that make me crazy. And then a few days after that, we see a release from the Ontario Provincial Police as well as the Niagara Regional Police Service that this is not a unique incident. This is not a one-off. There's a lot of that going on. And on this particular overpass as well, there have been quite a number of vehicles that have had things dropped on them as they've been driving through. So to you folks that are commenting about you don't believe it, do you believe anything? I've often said don't believe anything you see in the internet, but you have to believe something. And this dude that was talking to us, Shammy Hack, why would he lie? Why? He was alerting us to something that you should be aware of and be alert for the danger. Like, always keep looking up so that you know what's coming down. I don't know, Kevin. It's the mood I'm in. I'm sorry. Now, I would actually probably today be a very good UFC fighter, the kind of mood I'm in right now. But not as good as Jasmine Jasudavicius. I call her Jasudavicius because that's pretty much in the ring what she is. Outside the ring, a sweetheart. Inside the ring, an animal. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. As she won one of the most important fights of her career so far at UFC 315 in Montreal. And the Niagara top team has done extremely well. They've got some great showings. And who's the other fellow? Mike Malott. He also had a really good night at UFC 315 in Montreal. As per usual, Jazz, in her benevolent style, has agreed to come in and have a chat with us today. She's going to be coming in at about 12:20 today, and we'll talk more about that and find it. Because she is truly in her line of work. She is amazing. As I mentioned, David Green, the organizer of. Long-time organizer. I'll have to ask him how many annual this is. I don't remember. Garden City Comedy Festival starts tonight. And again, if you want to refresh and then share the stream you're watching right now on Niagara 411, you will be entered in our draw for a couple of tickets to go to the final night gala on Saturday, this coming Saturday, May 24th, for the Garden City Comedy Festival. So do that if you haven't already done it, and maybe you pick up a couple of tickets to the show. Excuse me. On a more somber note, it was early hours of March 17th, 2022, that Nicholas Adamson went missing, and it's a story we have not let filter away, because it's something that has been a subject of conversation amongst just about everybody in the region. What happened to this young man on the night of March 16th, going into the wee small hours of March 17th, which was the early morning hours of St. Patrick's Day, from the Moose and Goose in Thorold? And you know the story. He went out with his telephone, made a telephone call. He'd called his mom a few times that night, trying to get some money, or whether it was to get home or whatever, and couldn't get back in because the security people said, no, you're too inebriated to come back inside the bar. And even though he was using a phone that belonged to a friend of his, disappeared and was not seen again, despite searches and investigations, etc. Well, back in late December, some remains were found in Hamilton Harbour. They were turned over by the RCMP to DNA testing labs, etc., and those remains were identified as Nicholas Adamson. From the Moose and Goose in 2022 to Hamilton Harbour in 2025. Jennifer is going to be joining us, Nicholas's mom, at 1 o'clock today. Back to what we were talking about before. Mike Malott, this is the headline. Mike Malott, Jasmine Jasudavicius, send crowd into a frenzy at UFC 315. Hi, Jazz, how you doing? Can you unmute your mic there for us?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
We got you?
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Where are you now? Are you at home?
No, actually, I'm in Florida right now.
You're in Florida. Well, good for you. You've earned a vacation.
Yes, thank you.
Are you there for pleasure or to beat somebody up?
No, I'm here for pleasure. Chris, his dad lives here, so we're able to come here and kind of just unwind a little bit.
Well, we continue to say this every time we have you on the show. It's the next best thing you've ever done, and we're doing that again at UFC 315 in Montreal. This is so far, according to the experts and the people that know more than I do, the best thing you've ever done. Wow, you had a pretty good run up there, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. I'm hoping to kind of keep this trajectory going.
Yeah. Now, another Niagaran that fights out of the same club that you do, Mike Malott, he had a pretty good time too, huh?
Yeah, it was an amazing night. Both of us were booked on the same card, so going through camp together and being able to perform. He got a finish, I got a finish. The coaches were so happy, the team's doing so well, and to go through the hard work with him and then just see us both kind of like fulfilling our dreams.
It's wonderful. Now tell us a little bit, because we can't talk to him yet, but tell us a little bit about Mike's night.
Mike did awesome. He was fighting a very talented guy, and he ended up finishing him with a TKO. So it was an amazing performance by him. And you were fighting. Is it Andrada? How do you pronounce that name? Who are you fighting? Andrade. Her name is Jessica Andrade. She's from Brazil. She's a former world champion. She's like a very, very known UFC fighter. She's had the most, for a female, the most UFC fights in history. She's got many knockouts. It was like a very tall task that I had to overcome.
And yet you took her out very early in the in the fight. Tell us about. It was in the first round, was it not?
Yeah, I was. I think 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes 40 into the first round. I was striking with her for a little bit, and then I saw the opportunity to take her down, and I was able to take her down and submit her with a rear naked choke.
Well, when I was watching the fight, we have a scene on right now where you're on the mat just before she taps out. But what I saw is you did spot an opportunity, because she came at you with it looked like a great big haymaker, like sort of right hook or something, and you grabbed her from underneath and you were down, and that was the end. That was it.
Yeah, we planned that. We knew that she was going to be throwing big hooks like that, and so that was the idea, is just to get underneath of those, stay out of her power, because she's had many knockouts, so I wasn't trying to get knocked out by her, So yeah, that was the idea, is get her thinking we're striking, and then once she gets comfortable and wants to sit down on her next power shots, then I would be underneath and take her down.
And you sure did. You certainly executed the plan. I know your mom and dad are just pleased as heck, because you didn't even get touched, I don't think, in that fight, did you?
Yeah, literally nothing at all. She had a couple kicks at the very start, but nothing that hurt me at all. No punches at all were thrown. She threw punches, but nothing hit me. And to walk out of a fight to be completely unscathed like that, it's amazing.
Yeah, and especially a seasoned fighter like Jessica that you were up against. So how has this, and it maybe hasn't even sunk in yet, so that you know, how does this affect your standing or status or pecking order? How does it kick you up to championship level? What does this do for you?
Yeah, so now I'm currently ranked number 6 in the world for 125 pounds. So I'm going to, they're kind of what the media is saying, and kind of what the inner workings are talking about, that I have maybe one more fight as fight a contender, and then the next fight will be for a title fight. As long as I continue on this trajectory that I am on, I have a kind of clearish path. Hopefully 2 fights and I'm right there, but we'll see.
So what does something like this do for confidence when you? I know in a lot of sports they use the word momentum a lot, be it baseball, hockey, golf, tennis, whatever it is. If you've got the momentum, if you've got the wins, you kind of there's some juice behind you. Does that in your sport? Is this a big thing? Is that sense of momentum a big deal?
Yeah, it really is. I've been very active since 2023. I've fought eight times, I think. I've had 10 fights in the UFC now. I'm very active and I'm fighting all the time, so I'm keeping that momentum going, and it is important to keep that going, because you get great opportunities when you're continually fighting, and yeah, like you said, it's you just have this fire in you, and you're able to kind of keep going through the hard days.
Do you love it?
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Do you miss it when you're not fighting?
Right now, because I've been so active, I am enjoying the downtime.
Yeah.
But I can already feel the itch. I'm leaving for Brazil on Friday, and I know when I get there, I'm going to be able to train. And so, I'll enjoy the next, 2-3 days. But I am really looking forward to kind of getting back in there.
So what's happening in Brazil?
I'm training, but as well as I'm going to vacation a little bit. I've never been to Brazil. I have a friend that lives there, and so she said she'll show me around. And, that's one thing that I absolutely love about martial arts. It's afforded me the opportunity to meet great people and be able to travel at pretty much anywhere in the world. There's there's gyms everywhere, there's martial arts everywhere, and you meet people and you develop these like very close connections in such like a short period of time that you're you it's like an accelerated friendship.
Yeah.
And so I'm very excited to spend some time with her and to learn about Brazil, to go there and to eat food and, you know, have a local show me
So you're
around.
probably not going to be visiting Jessica's family though while you're there.
I don't think they would like me very much.
So another thing that is kind of intoxicating or engaging when we watch you is it is for such a what some people would call a brutal way to make a living. Is the fact that you have a pure joy. Like when you won this fight, after hardly breaking a sweat, I might add again, you got up and you jumped up and you rode the rail and waved to the crowd. Like you like the show too. You get off on the show a little bit, don't you?
I definitely do. Like I know that half of the sport is an entertainment industry, and it's fun. Like to be the superhero in your own story or whatever they say.
Yeah.
You know, it's like having the courage to be able to go out there and like put myself out there. You know, it is like scary to have cameras on you all the time, but you know, I try to embrace that and you know, just really get into the role and try to enjoy it as much as I can.
So remind us now what the record is again.
I am 14-3 now. I gotta double check that.
Lee, I just got to hop on here because, I mean, just some burning questions after that big win at 315. Jasmine, they were making some significance after the fight about the black belts that they draped over your shoulder. What was that about?
Yeah, what was that?
Yes, so with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they have a belt system, a ranking system. So you start at a white belt, blue belt, and it continues up. And there's multiple belts that you have to go through before you're a black belt. Black belt's the highest. Well, there's like black belt, and then there's with coral, and that's like a coach's belt and everything. So right now, my coaches thought my skill level was up to the standards of a black belt. And so yeah, they presented me with my black belt after the fight, and you know, I'm glad that I subbed her because it just showed jiu-jitsu so well, and yeah, it was a very, very proud moment for me.
Very cool, Jasmine. And just another follow-up, kind of about the fight itself, and I guess more the card, is that when you look down the card, I think every single fight on the main draw went to the judges. And you and Mike both finished your fights, and that's what they want, right? That's what the fans want. That's what UFC wants. How does that position you moving forward, and when are we going to see Jasmine on the main card?
I think the only reason I was not on the main card this time was because there were two other girl fights, both in the same weight class, and they're ranked higher than me. So that's probably why I wasn't on the main card this time, but I'm sure next time I'll be on the main card. Maybe I'll even be able to headline it. We'll see if it's in Canada potentially.
Well, I'm sure you will be in the not too distant future, because you're a star, and you're our star, which makes it even better. So enjoy your time in Florida. Enjoy the vacation. Have fun and an interesting trip in Brazil. I'm sure you'll find that fascinating. And what is the time frame? I know this is a question I also always ask you. What is the time frame between now and whenever you find out what your next fight's going to be? Any idea?
I'm not too sure. It will kind of depend on. There's a couple girls that are fighting in 2 weeks that we'll find out where they will be landing in the rankings, because I'll probably get a matchup of the winner of that, or possibly like the Grasso or Ferro or something like that.
Right.
But so I won't really know anything for probably 2 more weeks.
Okay. And I know that's usually the answer, but I have to ask the question.
Of course, yeah.
Jasmine, again, enjoy, stay safe, safe travels, safe return. And as always, we appreciate you making yourself so available to us because, you know, when people get as famous as you, sometimes they forget about the little people like us. But it's so nice. It's so nice to have you here.
No, it's a pleasure talking. We'll always chat.
Okay. Enjoy your day, kiddo.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye. What a great young lady. A sweetheart out of the ring and a beast in the ring. What a great combination, Kevin.
No, I mean she's got that blend, right?
Yeah.
And I mean her star is just rising as she continues to win in the UFC. It only attracts more eyeballs. And I mean, like you said, she's becoming more and more natural in the ring. She just looks like a natural, hopping up on top of that octagon and playing to the home crowd in Montreal. Say home crowd, you know, the national crowd in Montreal. And then Mike Malott absolutely decimated his opponent, knocked him out cold. And that's what UFC fighters and that's what UFC fandom is looking for. And Jasmine now just
they want to see
rising
a
up to
battle.
flyweight.
And they probably, however, would have loved to have seen the Jasmine Jessica fight go on a little bit longer, but it was still an exciting finish, even though it didn't. Man, if you're going to finish a fight in the first round, that's the way to do it. And she came out of it, like I said, without almost breaking a sweat. It's amazing. Just crazy. Want to mention our sponsors here before we go any further today. Gales Gas Bars, thank you very much. Sandra's Home Healthcare, as always. Thank you so much for continuing to support the program. Sandra's Home Healthcare offers many services in that umbrella sort of topic. There's personal care. They provide personal care assistance to those faced with the inability to maintain their own personal hygiene. Healthcare in general. They ensure optimal health by monitoring vitals, providing medication reminders, etc. Because that's one of the most important things sometimes, especially as people age, is trying to keep track of whatever medications are required and when, so they do that. Companion care is also something that they provide, as well as PSW Services Home Health Care, which is so important when it becomes more obvious that the best place for people to spend their time as they get older is in their own home and properly looked after. So Sandra's Home Healthcare, thank you very much. Verge Insurance Group continues to hang in here with Niagara 411 Live with Lee Sterry, a Niagara insurance broker since 1953, located just over downtown on Ontario Street in St. Catharines for auto, home, business, life, whatever quotes you require. Verge Insurance Brokers is the place to check out. Ace Alignment as well. I was chatting with Janice Pretty. She is the operator of Ace Alignment earlier this week, and she passed on a pretty good tip considering the time of year it is and considering the situation that we're in, where a lot of folks are changing some of their summer vacation plans. And from, say, maybe taking a trip into the U.S., a lot of Canadians are not going there anymore for obvious reasons. So there are a lot of more day trips and summer trips and automotive trips, etc. And she wanted me to remind you that, because this is their business and this is where they focus their services to their customers and to the people. She just wanted to remind you that it probably, if you're going to take one of those summer road trips or whatever, or even if you're just driving on a daily basis, take your vehicle in, get it checked over, and get your wheels aligned before heading out on your summer trips. Specialties of wheel alignments and brakes and suspension, etc. Because an alignment is something that's super important to your car. You can feel it sometimes when it's out of alignment. It starts to wobble a little bit, but even if you don't feel it, you can wear your tires down. The vehicle doesn't operate as properly as it should, and sometimes you don't know. So take it in, have it checked out. Ace Alignment over on North Street, just off Geneva, behind the police station here in St. Catharines. Mac Outpost. What can I say about these guys that I haven't already said, but I'll say it again, for everything Apple in Niagara. The Apple authorized reseller and service. They've been in business since the late 1990s, before we could even spell computer. They've been in business helping out any and all folks that have anything to do with the world of Apple, the Appleverse, if you will. They're on Lake Street in the north end, in the plaza where Dollar Tree is and where Tim Hortons is, across from Don's Lighting out there in the north end. You know where we're talking about. So check out Apple and everything Apple with Sean, the owner, Derek, the head mechanic, head technician at Mac Outpost. Thank you for continuing with the program. And Kevin, of course, from WeeStream. Very, very busy spring and heading into the summer for you guys. How are you and Brandon handling this thing? Yeah, everything okay?
Quite, yeah. Oh, well, yeah, the calendar is filling up. At the same time, we're also trying to juggle, having the kids and the family. And I got to say, Lee, happy birthday to our son, Alex.
Yeah.
Who turns
10
today.
Happy birthday, Alex. Have a great time.
And,
any special plans with the family, Kev?
We had his friends from school over on Monday, so that was quite nice. And tonight the fam is coming over to actually celebrate, and he'll get his second cake. We accused him, Lee, of illegal cake eating on Monday because he accepted a cake with the number 10 on top when he was still 9 years old.
Oh, no.
He seems to have handled it in stride and actually had a piece of cake with a candle in it for breakfast this morning. So
Illegal.
So good on him.
Illegal
Lee,
care. Yes. Sorry.
I don't know if you're going here, but want to remind people that we are giving away tickets.
I'll go anywhere.
To the gala performance of the Garden City Comedy Festival.
Yeah.
David Green's going to come on in a couple of minutes. But let's walk people through the steps of what you have to do to qualify. I'm going to be picking a name on Friday. So here we are. We're on Niagara 411's Facebook page.
Yeah. All right. So all you have to... Yeah.
Well, there we are right there.
There you are. You're on Niagara 411's Facebook page. You see you're following this thing. I like that. And then just in case you haven't done it in a while, you can just refresh it, just in case, to make sure that you got the most current version of what we're streaming. And then you click on share at the bottom right. And then you do a share now.
Now, I'm not going to do it, Lee, because I've already shared it today, so... Next thing you know, I'm spamming Facebook, right? You're going to get people that hate you.
I don't want to do that either. So I won't do that either.
I've already done it, but if you haven't done it, do that because it'll qualify you for a pair of tickets to the gala night just down the road at the Performing Arts Center featuring Elvira Kurt.
Yeah, and we're going to be talking more about that, the whole festival, which starts tonight when David Green joins us in, about 5 minutes, maybe less than 5 minutes, whenever he clicks in here. We're going to have a brand new sponsor on the program, and we're really, really looking forward to this. I'll mention it right now because it's a done deal. It's going to happen. Sometimes I don't mention things prematurely just in case it doesn't happen, but this is going to happen, and I'm really looking forward to having this organization on the program because it truly is a perfect fit for what we do here, which is a program that was designed in Niagara, by Niagarans, for Niagarans. And the Niagara Parks Commission is coming on as a sponsor of this program. Our first show with them as a sponsor will be the 4th of June, which is a couple of weeks from now. And so many, many things that Niagara Parks has to offer, especially over the course of the summer. And one of the cool things about this organization, I won't go into it too much now because they're not sponsoring us yet, but they're going to, is the fact that this is not a taxpayer dollar supported organization. It's entirely self-supported, it's entirely organic, and that's something that as a region, we should be very proud of to have an organization like this that supports all the beautiful things in the Niagara Parkway and so many things that Niagara Parks does, and it's not a drain on your taxpayer dollar at all, which is very cool. So we're going to be talking more about them as the weeks and months go on, and we would like to thank the folks there. We've had David Adames, the CEO of Niagara Parks before, and he's always been gracious with us. So thanks to him for committing to sponsor the program. And Niagara Parks Commission Chair Bob Gale, appreciate that support, and all of the great folks at Niagara Parks Commission. So we look forward to talking more about those attractions and the things that are going on in that organization, which truly is a linchpin of our region, as they jump on as a sponsor on June the 4th. Kevin.
Now, Lee, just to dovetail on that, big supporter, of course, of Niagara Parks would also include the City of Niagara Falls, and Mayor Jim put up a post, and I know we'll be talking about this, but kind of previewing the new attraction, the new offering Niagara Parks is going to unveil August of this year. Have you heard Niagara Takes Flight?
Absolutely.
Cutting-edge flying theater taking you for a 56-kilometer aerial journey across stunning sights in Niagara Falls. And here are some renderings.
Look forward to that,
of what you're going to... And it's a full-on, you'd call like a 3D or a 4D experience, right? Where you're going to get misted. You're going to smell some of the scents of the Niagara Gorge. And just saying, hey, it's coming. And, of course, obviously they were filming for this over the previous years. And this is a huge installation that's going to come right into Table Rock.
Yeah,
so that's going to be awesome. Very cool.
Actually, last Friday took another walk through the tunnel that leads from the power station that is now a museum tour area. And if you've never taken the tour or gone through it, by all means do it. But took another walk. I think it was the second or third time I've been through it, and it's always fascinating to take that tunnel walk. And there it is. That's what you'll see as you walk out of the tunnel. That tunnel, by the way, used to be full of raging water, because when the power station was in full operation, the water ended up streaming through that tunnel into the Niagara River at the base of the falls. But right now it's a promenade, and you walk through, and then you go out onto this beautiful deck, patio-looking area, and they give you ponchos to put on because it can get a little misty if you go out there. But man, you talk about a great photo op at Niagara. That's one of the best, right there. So if you haven't done it, by all means, go for it. As mentioned earlier, Nicholas Adamson was missing for over 3 years. He went missing on St. Patrick's Day. Early St. Patrick's Day morning, and the night of March 16th, anyway, into the wee small hours of March 17th, from the Moose and Goose in the Thorold. After a 3-year mystery, 3-year search, investigation, some remains were found in Hamilton Harbour in late December. They were, after a couple months, they were finally identified as remains of Nicholas Adamson, and obviously not the closure we would have preferred, but at least some next stage to the completion of the story. But there are still so many questions that friends and family and all of us would love to have answered that probably never will be. But we want to thank his mom, Jennifer, for taking the time to come and join us today. She'll be joining us about 1 o'clock this afternoon, and we'll sort of bring this story a full circle that we brought to you, first of all, way back in 2022 on the program. Kevin, we still haven't had any explanation. We reached out last couple of weeks to how to figure out how that car ended up flipped over in a parking lot of a strip mall in Niagara Falls. Still have no idea.
Yeah, no idea. A lot of comments there, and even regional towing guy Joe said, I towed one of them away from that site, that dental office. Somebody kind of implied that maybe they went through another parking lot, but how did none of the cars around it get damaged?
And how did some of these things happen? You know what I meant to share with you, and I'm sorry, Kevin, I totally forgot. Right around the corner from where I live, a few days ago, there was a car on Linwell Avenue. Now, once again, this is a main thoroughfare, but it's in a suburb. It's just between Lake Street and Geneva Street on Linwell, right near where they're building the new fire station there. A car smashed into a tree, caught on fire, and some passersby pulled out the local driver, and I went over and I took a picture of it, and what I didn't do is forward it to you so I could put it up, because it was just around the corner from where I live. So, but it was just weird. How was it a lot of people would surmise that maybe it was some sort of medical incident that took place. or just somebody lost control. It just was weird the way it happened, because the car was in somebody's yard facing the street, and the whole front of it was all burnt up, so it hit and caught fire. How do these things happen? And again, Kevin, this is something you and I need to talk about after the show, because we never seem to remember to do this, is I want to talk to somebody about how many cars are catching on fire. I don't understand how it happens. Why are cars catching on fire? I don't know.
Yeah, I never get that, and they do seem. And we're not talking EVs here. You know, everybody always wants to jump to.
They blame the electrics. No, it's not all electric. No.
Now, the one thing that is true, Lee, is that when electric vehicles catch on fire, they are extremely difficult and problematic to put out.
They're the worst fires.
Okay, that I think we can all agree on. However, statistically, I'll just throw this out there. That, what do they call them? Internal combustion, ICEs, internal combustion engines.
Very good, Kevin.
They actually catch on fire at a higher rate.
You passed your physics course
than EVs. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Let's give away some tickets, and let's talk Garden City Comedy Festival with our friend here.
Yeah, by all means, David Green, the hardest working man in Niagara region comedy. Welcome to the program. How you doing, David?
I'm great. How are you, buddy?
I am well. You're obviously keeping busy.
Yep.
I saw you did a television interview earlier this week. And tell us a little bit about what you've been up to other than that before we talk about the festival. What's going on with David Green?
I've been pretty busy, hanging out, collaborating with a bunch of cool people. I got to perform at the PAC in the big Partridge Room last week. I got to collaborate with Momentum Choir for their big event they had down there, which was very, very cool to see. Just the reaction they got from the crowd. They put on a heck of a show. Like, the crowd loved it. It was very, very inspiring. Prior to that, we just released our Forest Captain web series, so 4 episodes, working with Mark Matthews and Levi Mann, Heather Fudge, and Derek Glenn, the director. So just we had Rod Standish, the musician, doing all our music for it. So it's been great working, collaborating with artistic, passionate people.
Yeah. Tell us about that project you were just talking about. Fill us in a little bit more about what that is.
Yes, so it's an idea we've had for a while. It's like a mix of Star Trek and hiking. My favorite things are Star Trek, jokes, and hiking in the woods. So I tried to combine all of them. So it's Star Trek in the woods with a lot of puns and wordplay. So they're basically the Heartland Forest Rangers. Okay. They have the ethos of the Star Trek Starfleet. They passionately want to conserve the rainforest. Right. But they also have they have phasers, and they have transporters and gadgets and aliens and
where do we find this extravaganza?
YouTube. Just type Forest Captain into YouTube, and there's 4 episodes. They're about 5-6 minutes each, so they don't take very long. But they're a lot of fun, very unique, and the music's great, characters are great. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of it.
Great, good for you. So let's fast forward to yet another Garden City Comedy Festival. And it all kicks off tonight. So walk us through the program for the week.
So the first thing you'll be walking down is the red carpet that I went and rolled out last night and taped it down and got the fancy stanchions walk in. So you walk in the Spotlight Comedy.
You have to put down your own red carpet.
Oh yeah, I'm back here. I was blowing balloons frantically before I got on this call here.
Okay.
Balloons. I tell you, from last year to this year, the price of balloons has doubled. Inflation. Am I right, Lee?
Yeah, absolutely. Inflation. Yeah. All right, I get it.
Come on, Lee. This is good stuff.
I get it. This is good stuff. I get it.
Funnily enough, though, you were talking about cars catching fire. Last year, I had a car on my street. I think I saw it on the 411 page. Somebody posted a car on fire, and it was literally outside of my house, and I wasn't here when it happened. Well, I saw all the footage. I'm like, that's my house. I think it was because of the Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels is the issue.
Hot Wheels, okay.
But anyhow, tonight is the Niagara Comedy Awards, so everyone dressed to impress. Wear your tuxedos, your bow ties, your dresses. And we're going to be handing out awards to celebrating the Niagara comedy community with special guests, giveaways, and prizes. It's a free show tonight to kick things off. Tomorrow is the culmination of the grassroots comedy contest that we've been running each Thursday through the month of May. Each week has been so fun so far. We've had 33 comics sign up, and we're down to the top 9 finalists. We have Ronnie Edwards coming down to headline, who's absolutely hilarious. Yeah, and then that's the tomorrow night. And then Friday is our annual fundraiser for Birchway Niagara, which is always super fun. We got a ton of prizes this week. I think we've got 50 prizes we have all together now. So
Okay.
lots of great prizes to win. And then all female lineup for that. Kathy Boyd from Canada's Got Talent is coming out to headline that with KD, local favorite, as the MC.
Right.
And then Saturday, we're double dipping Saturday. So we've got two shows simultaneously. So down at Spotlight Comedy Club, we've got the variety show, Variety Night Live. So we've got Improv Niagara. I'm doing improv. We have Jar of Gems doing musical improv, which is a ton of fun. And then Scene Therapy Films, who have a bunch of film sketches that they put together. So we're going to be premiering a bunch of those. And then while that's going on, down at the Pack, just down the street, is our gala night, where we've got Elvira Kurt, Ian Sirota, Cedric Newman, Keisha Brownie, Jimmy England. It's just Joe Pelletieri MC. It's just like any of those comics usually headline our big shows, but we have them all on one big event for one special night. And it's going to be a great night. And then this year we've got an after party as well, which we've added. So once the two shows are finished at Spotlight, we're all going to head back to the club and have some pizza and a mini secret surprise comedy show and some karaoke to close it out.
David, what is it that has made it possible to draw this kind of talent to the Garden City Community Comedy Festival? And I mean, I know you put an awful lot of work into this behind the scenes, more so than we could understand. But what is the draw for these comics to show up? Because these are some pretty big names in the stand-up industry.
Yeah, it's the venues and the comedy community that we've built in Niagara. There's not that many full-time official comedy clubs in the country of Canada, less than a handful. And the fact that we have one downtown St. Catharines and we're just attracting big names week after week. I got to host the Caroline Ray last week. How cool is that? I have to drive 10 minutes from my house to go hang out with Caroline Ray. That's super cool.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then the Pack as well, world-class theatre. You put that theatre against many theatres across the world. You bring that talent in a beautiful room, pack it with a crowd ready to laugh. I'd put our show and our lineup and our gala night against any comedy night across the country.
I don't disagree. And one of the things, and this is the case in not just St. Catharines or Niagara Falls or Welland or Port Colborne or whatever. It's not just the case in Niagara. It seems to be the case in any municipality, any place that people live. You figure anything outside's got to be better than inside because, we'll pay $60, $70 to see a show in Toronto because it must be good. But what happens locally, well, it can't be. But we're breaking that mold, thank goodness, because
I want to flip that. I want the people from Toronto coming down to St. Catharines.
And I think that's happening.
We can achieve. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's happening, David, and that was kind of my point. Yeah. It's nice to see people appreciating what's happening in their own backyard. Mm-hmm. It really is. Okay, talk to us about ticket prices now, because people are saying, I know they can go online and find it, but tell us about ticket prices.
So for tonight is a free show. If you can just RSVP on our website, just to make sure we can send you all the details of what to do and everything. Tomorrow is $10 for the contest final. The Birchway Niagara fundraiser is $20. And then the Pack is $40 for that one. And with the Pack, with the theatre, there's a bunch of fees and taxes that they add to it, which we can't get around. But if you use the promo code GCCF10, the Garden City Comedy Festival 10, that'll take away $10 and save you a bunch of those fees and taxes too.
Oh, those are bargain prices, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, and value the laugh per minute per dollar ratio is off the charts. I'm it's cheaper than therapy, that's for sure.
I'll say. Well, again, congratulations on first of all how your hard work has paid off for the community and helping us all laugh and look at the lighter side of life, perhaps more often than we have an opportunity to. But congratulations to you as well. It's a tough gig. It's a tough business, and you're hanging in there, and you do great work, and we're proud of you. So thanks for that.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. That means a lot. I love what I do, and I can go around, make people laugh, and have fun while doing it. Yeah, it's great.
How are
Very proud of the community that we have here too. That's why it's a celebration tonight. It's just all the community coming together, having a laugh together, and having a great time. So can't wait for it.
How are the little girls doing? How are the good chug girls
They
doing?
are wonderful. They turn 3 and 5 in a couple of months. They're getting big. They're best friends. Yeah, they help me out. They're picking out my outfit for the red carpet tonight. So I may be very, very, very bright and colorful.
Good.
But yeah.
And again, condolences and congratulations to your wife.
Yeah, she's going to be happy this week's over too. She's been behind the scenes helping out with so much stuff, making T-shirts, making buttons, putting balloons together. You know, she's hard at work. She's a trooper.
Thanks, David Green, for bringing once again the Garden City Comedy Festival here for our enjoyment for yet another year, and we appreciate your time today too. Good luck with the weekend.
Thanks, buddy. Have a great week.
Take care, pal. These people work hard, Kevin, on our behalf. They really do.
Yeah, David's the hardest of them all.
I mean, in this era of post-COVID society, some of these initiatives, not just businesses like restaurants, still continue to struggle in so many cases. You hear about a decent restaurant closing just about every day here in Niagara and elsewhere as well. But festivals and events and gatherings of this type, the COVID era killed so many of them because they were never able to recover or rebuild or get back to where they once were. But when you see an event like this that continues to sort of having dug itself out of the ashes and rebuilt to where it is now, and these wonderful talents that are coming into Niagara to provide opportunity for entertainment, it's a big deal. It really is a big deal, and not something that every organization is able to do. It's not able to be reborn necessarily after a period in history where pretty much the bottom dropped out of everything. And actually, this show is a testament to what can be dragged out of something like COVID, because that's how it was born. Its embryonic phase, if you will, happened during COVID, when our talented executive producer, Kevin Jack, figured our business is taking a hit, so we've got to try to figure out something to do here where we can stay relevant and stay vibrant. And kudos to Kevin and his partner Brandon Scram, and to those of us that have worked on this program. Here we are today. So something great came out of something horrible, and that happens in a lot of cases. And people that have been able to rebuild after that COVID period, not to put too fine a point on it, I don't think you can exaggerate the fact that it's quite an accomplishment. So kudos to Kevin, you and others that have done that. And David Green is another one.
No, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, and I love the Garden City Comedy Festival. It's a bit of a ring to it. As you know, Niagara itself is a destination for Canadians coast to coast. So these comics are just going to continue to come down here. David plays an awesome host, puts on an awesome festival. And again, all you got to do is share this post, and you'll qualify to win a pair of tickets to the gala this Saturday, headlined by Elvira Kurt. But like David said, everybody on that lineup themselves is a headliner,
and those prices are like dirt cheap.
Absolutely, and you can get in for nothingly. All you got to do is
Tonight.
share it. But yeah, if you want to buy tickets, www.gardencitycomedyfestival.com, and he said there's a code. Right, if you go back and watch this, get the code from David, and it'll save you.
Well, it's Garden
$10.
City Comedy Festival, GCCF10.
Okay, that's it. GCCF10.
Yeah, because this is the 10th. Hard to believe it's the 10th annual. Wow. And probably they didn't have it during COVID. Okay, a lady that is very brave to join us today, that has been through what no one, especially a mom, should ever have to go through over the past 3 years. Jennifer Adamson is with us. She is the mom of Nicholas Adamson, who you are very familiar with, went missing in 2022 from the Moose and Goose and Thorold in the wee small hours of March 17th. Jennifer, hello. Thanks for being here.
You're welcome. Hello.
How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, we're okay.
So, as you know, we've spent a lot of time on this program trying to keep Nicholas in the thoughts of Niagarans, because after a certain time, as you know, news cycles being what they are, sometimes people can be forgotten, and we definitely didn't want Nicholas to be one of those people, because it's one of Niagara's most foreground mysteries since March of 2022. So walk us through, if you would, if you can, if you feel up to it, what you've experienced since December, which that is when we found Nicholas's remains. Is that correct?
I didn't find out until April 29th.
Okay, but to our knowledge, he was found in December.
A bone was found in December in Hamilton Harbor.
Just
And
a bone.
Just a bone, just his arm bone.
Okay. And then?
And I guess they had to do DNA testing. Nicholas's DNA was in the system as mine and my husband's was as well. And after a couple of months, they got back that it was Nicholas's DNA on this arm bone that a worker at DeFasco found.
Okay, and that was, and you found that out in April, you said?
April 29th.
Okay, so what, if anything, did law enforcement or the investigators or the forensics or whatever, what, if any, information other than that did they give you?
Nothing. They don't know.
So, you've probably asked the same questions we have. From the Moose and Goose, which as we know isn't too far from the Welland Canal, but it's quite a ways from Hamilton Harbour. Are there any theories, any official theories whatsoever as to how that portion of Nicholas was found? Like, how did that get there? Any ideas?
The detective wasn't familiar with the currents of the Niagara system, so she couldn't offer any explanation. And there's no cameras that point him going in the direction of the Welland Canal. Well, there's no cameras anywhere, but the cameras that they did look at don't show him anywhere. And they're like across the street from the Moose and Goose. They don't show him going in that direction. And the last ping on the phone was more towards Sullivan, in the area, I would say between Pine and perhaps like Burley Hill, like in that stretch of it's a different cell tower than the Moose and Goose. But that's all they have. They have nothing. Nobody has anything else. So it's perplexing.
I'm sorry?
It's very perplexing.
Yeah. You made a quote in an interview that I will live the rest of my life not knowing what happened. And that's probably the worst nightmare of any mom, irrespective of when they lose a child or at what age. So is it your understanding that the investigation is now over? Have they stopped? Are there still people trying to figure out what happened or not?
The missing portion of the investigation is obviously over. So that book is closed. He's no longer missing.
Right.
We know he is deceased. They perhaps are going to do some dives, the police, in the Hamilton Harbor to see if they can find any more remains.
Jennifer, is there anyone that's made any conjecture at all as to whether foul play was included here?
No.
No?
I mean, the police just say that they do not have evidence that there is foul play. That could mean anything, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
And so far that was the only, as hard as it is to ask you this question, that his arm is the only part of Nicholas that we currently are in possession of, or people are in possession of. Just his arm.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
And just the right top, I think.
And not even the whole arm, yeah.
No.
How do you...
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Kevin.
I was just going to hop in here, Jennifer, and just say, Nicholas, at his age, he was out with a bunch of friends that evening. It's been 2 years. Most of these friends are in, their 20s. Socially, they're quite active. How have they been through this journey from Nicholas's disappearance, March 17, 2022, to now? Have they been close to you? Have they been distant? Have some been incredible confidants? Can you talk about that relationship?
There's no relationship. You're welcome to have them on the show and talk to them.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming you knew some of these people. For example, I know my friends, I know some of their parents, and we have relationships. Is it that those relationships went away, or was this kind of new groups of friends as he's entered adulthood that you didn't necessarily have relationships with?
No, I knew the friend that he went out with. He had been friends with him a very long, it's like since grade school, so.
But there's no contact now?
No.
Okay. Again, Jennifer, our hearts and thoughts go out to you and your family. Those of us hopefully never have to experience the emotions the roller coaster that you and your family has had to go through, and will, as you say, have to deal with for the rest of your life. Does this, again, difficult questions to ask, and I'm sorry. Does this confirmation, though, do anything to help you heal, or does it just make it worse?
No, well, I'm not looking at everybody that's walking down the street. I'm not looking anymore,
Right.
For them in bushes, and I guess that part. And, we're going to have a lovely service for him.
When is that happening?
Well, it's going to be published, so
Okay.
we're still ironing out the details.
Will that be something that we, the public, would be able to come and help pay our respects?
Yes, there will be visitation, absolutely.
Okay,
And,
terrific.
I'd like to thank, my family and my friends, and I'd like to thank the community for all these years of trying to find Nicholas. When saying they were walking their dog and just having a look around just in case they see a clue. It's nice that people had him in his prayers. I had a lot of people send me condolences. And it's very nice that the community has stood by our family, and
Well, I know that...
not the best time. And I finally got to see, before this happened, the video of Nicholas standing outside of the Moose and Goose that night. I got to see apparently he was outside for an hour, and I got to see about a half an hour of it. He was just standing there, leaning against the wall. People were walking by. He was high-fiving people. He was chatting with people. He was smiling. He wanted to come home that night. And for whatever reason, he ended up in water. Like I said, I will never know.
Right.
Um, and I, I, I don't forgive the doorman because it was snowing and cold, and Nicholas didn't have a jacket on, and I don't think that was appropriate. He could have let him back in, give him a glass of water, let him, wait till I came and got him. Anything, any other scenario other than just letting somebody walk out in the cold after standing out there and tragedy happens.
And Jennifer, I don't think you're alone in that sentiment about that, because we have reviewed that in our minds, the what ifs, over
Yes.
and over and over for the last 3 years. And just so that you know, and beyond the circle of people that you're aware of, thousands and thousands of Niagarans have continued to wonder and what happened, and hope for closure one way or the other, because I can't even count the number of conversations I've had with complete strangers who might have recognized me from the program and said, "Is there any news about Nicholas? What do you know anything that you're not talking about?" I say, "No, I don't know anything, and I haven't heard something." But there was such a groundswell of emotional support for Nicholas and you and your family that you probably have never even heard of. But I can guarantee you that it was there and still is there, I might
Yes.
add. That support is still there around Niagara. As far as what
And our
happened,
family appreciates it very much.
and I'm sure that's true. And as far as what happened just outside that establishment that night, I think we all share your sentiments that it could have gone in such a different direction than it did.
Yes.
And but life
And
happens.
not one camera, not one person has ever come forward to say that they saw them on their home camera or a business. And I know the weather wasn't the greatest, and the police have described to me that a lot of these like business cameras are motion censored. So if sometimes the weather plays a part in not picking up things. We have nothing other than him walking across the street in front of the Moose and Goose, and that is it. Could he have gotten in a car? I don't know.
Well, Jennifer, at the very least, and it's a minimal relief, I get it, but at the very least, you and your family can begin to mourn properly and heal, hopefully, over time, and we'll definitely pass on whatever information we need to about the ceremony to celebrate Nick's life and to pay our respects to the family. So keep us posted on that, and we'll make sure we pass all that stuff along, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Jennifer, what can we say? We love you. Thank you so much. God bless.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye. One can only imagine, and hopefully not imagine too clearly, what that experience must have been like for the family to go through. Just horrendous.
Lee, at the same time, we sit here and we wish that no family would ever go through this, and there's a family right now dealing with this. This popped up in the wee early
Isabella
hours.
Cooper. Yeah. So we're sending out this appeal to hopefully locate someone who has gone missing. The official notice came out from the Niagara Regional Police Service that Isabella Cooper, 14 years of age, is missing. She was last seen at approximately 2:30 in the afternoon, May the 20th. That would have been yesterday. and she was known to frequent the area around the bus terminal on Carlisle Street, which is almost just next door from here. She's an Indigenous female, 14 years of age, medium build, about 5 feet tall, brown hair. She may be wearing gray pajama pants or white shorts, white Nike sweater, or a purple shirt. And the police and the family, of course, are asking you to keep an eye out for her and contact the police if you know someone that's seen her or if you caught a glimpse of Isabella. And again, this was less than 24 hours ago, because we're sitting at what? Almost 1:30, 20 after 1, quarter after 1 on May 21st. And she was last seen yesterday at about 2:30 on foot in her frequented area of downtown St. Catharines. So take a special note of Isabella's features. Again, she's a small girl. She's only 5 feet tall. That pretty brown hair at 14 years old. And obviously the family would love to hear from her. And Isabella, if you happen to be hunkered down somewhere with friends or taking a time out from family or whatever, let people know that you're okay, all right? Regardless of what's going on, reach out if you can, and let us know. And to anybody that knows Isabella, if you have any information at all as to where she might be or what she might be doing or who she might be with, we're all concerned, as are the police, as obviously is the family. So there you go. We're trying to keep somebody else from going missing.
And Lee, if people are scouring the comments there, they might have seen something there from me. I was in contact with her mother, who's participating in the chat.
Okay.
And invited her onto the program today, but might be too soon. She might be being pulled in a lot of directions right now, right? Like trying to communicate with family members, trying to communicate with police officers, communicating with possibly witnesses that are coming forward or what have you. But I mean, Isabella is out there. I know, Lee, you read the description, and if people think they know anything, please. Now, Lee,
yes,
let's get into kind of a good news story here.
Let's do that.
Hernder Estate Wines. We've had Angel Hernder on the program before.
Indeed. Now, how long was it? I think the post that you put up or that you informed us, something like 38 months ago, more than 3 years.
38 months, and then
since the fire took place at Hernder Wineries. And that was a classic building. The barn that went down. Just so much history with not just the family, not just the winery, the entire region has known this place for a long, long time. It's a heritage building, or it was a heritage building. And after all this time, and I guess it must take a while to get insurance claims settled and plans made and drawn up and a game plan put forward for things to get started. But 38 months after the fact, finally, this must be just an absolute thrill for the family, because I know they were heartbroken when this event took place. 38 months later, obviously, as you can see, construction has begun. We got things underway, and the rebuild and the rebirth of that part of the Hernder Estates winery property is under reconstruction. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
and Lee, credit,
great.
I mean, you were talking earlier about, all the changes and pivoting that businesses and individuals had to do during COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, this is exactly what happened to Angel and the Hernder family over here. It's like all of a sudden this big fire, and now
devastating.
They completely have to pivot, and they've done such a great job over the years. They've brought in fairs and festivals. They've still had musicians. They set up a temporary trailer there so that they can continue to sell. I know their wines are still available over at Harvest Barn on 4th Ave. And this isn't just to plug Hernder. I know there are a lot of really good wineries and family-run businesses around. But, there's only one that I know of that had their iconic structure burnt to the ground just by happenstance.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, so iconic. It's on the label. Every single label of Hernder wines has
that
the
building.
Bridge and the old barn.
Yeah,
that was there.
Oh, it was like if you're going to put a postage stamp
literally
of Hernder Wineries, that would have been the picture. And it's so nice to see that. I'm so interested in what their plan is for the finished structure, to see what they're doing. And I don't think we have been privy to that, even an artist's rendition, if you will, of what that building is going to look like. But it's so interesting to wait to find out.
Looky here, Lee. I mean, as you scroll through their socials, finally feels like Christmas. Look what we got today. This is May the 2nd.
Yeah.
A building permit.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, to finally get out.
What hoops they must have had to jump through with municipalities, not just as well as insurance companies and all the rest of it that goes with a massive undertaking like that, because that's a huge rebuild and it's not cheap. So there's a lot of things that needed to fall into place before that would take place. So congratulations to Hernder Estate Wines for doing that. I want to thank our sponsors once again before we hit the trail here. Happy trails, as Roy Rogers used to say. Gales Gas Bars, Sandra's Home Healthcare, Verge Insurance Group, Ace Alignment, Mac Outpost, our soon-to-be sponsored Niagara Parks Commission. We'll talk more about them in a couple of weeks when they first show up as a sponsor on the program. But I wanted to highlight the fact that we appreciate them coming on board, as well as Beau Chapeau. This is a busy season for Niagara on the Lake, and when you're down there, make sure you walk through Beau Chapeau on Queen Street, right on the main drag. It's a fascinating place to be, and I love them. My collection of hats continues to grow, so check them out. Kevin Neufeld and his gang, and man, they know what they're doing in there. Kevin, Jack, is always my friend. It's a pleasure. You do a masterful job of putting this program together, and I appreciate you making me look as good as I possibly can, and I know that's a big job. So thank you.
And I appreciate all that you do. You're super professional on the other side of the mic, and absolutely know how to fleece the best out of our guests. So.
And thus ends the Mutual Admiration Society of me and Kevin. Thanks to Fiddler's Poorhouse here at 149 St. Paul Street for letting us get in their way every couple of weeks. And who have we got to entertain us to play us off the stage today?
We've got another winner of the Niagara Music Award, so thanks so much for everybody involved in that, and it's given us a great portal to see all these incredible, talented musicians across the region. This is winner for Country Song of the Year. The artist is Spencer Burton, and the video is for Goin' Fishing.
Which is what some of you might want to be doing today, and if so, good luck to you. All the best. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. I want to thank Jasmine Jasudavicius, David Green, Jennifer Adamson for taking time out of their busy lives to join us on Niagara 411 Live with Lee Sterry. We'll be back with episode 12 in a couple of weeks. Cheers. Have a great time and enjoy the show.
Found some time for a drive long distance. Turn the radio on for a listen. Nothing coming through seems to pique my ear. I picked sounds for the longest drive down to the lake on the other side of town, where I go to spend my days. 'Cause I'm going fishing, a bit of paradise. Go tell all my friends I'm doing just fine. Don't need to catch a thing, just throw a line. I'm doing fine, I'm doing fine, I'm doing alright. Back of the truck's filled with all my gear, a can of worms, a cup of cold beer. Ain't no day like this in such a long while. I got my dog in the passenger side, a little like me and a little bit wild. Always comes along for a real good time. 'Cause I'm going fishing, a little paradise. Go tell all my friends I'm doing just fine. Don't need to catch things, throw a line. I'm doing fine, I'm doing fine, I'm doing alright. Need more time in a day. Need more time getting away. Glassy water, no more waves. Off the shore, I'll throw it away. Cause I'm going fishing, a bit of paradise. Go tell all my friends I'm doing just fine. Don't need to catch a thing, just throw a line. I'm doing fine, I'm doing fine, I'm doing alright. Cause I'm going fishing, a bit of paradise. Tell my wife and kids I'm doing just fine. Don't need to catch